And welcome back to episode 41 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm Injured Reserve King.
What's going on, Clifford? Technical difficulties. What's up, Aaron?
Always.
Here it comes.
And then we got the dot connector,
Man,
Aaron Spencer, in the building. What's popping?
One side of the screen to the other, nigga. We gonna get there, goddamn.
Well, after all is said and done and we struggled to get this bitch rolling, of course we are here to talk basketball. What do y'all have? What's the first thing on your mind, Malk? What you got to say?
Kevin Durant. Way to redeem yourself. Way to redeem yourself.
Okay, so you gonna jump straight into the Nets, the Nets, Bucks.
With his performance, you almost have to. I feel like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
17 and 10. Woo.
Yeah, that's almost a 50-point triple double right there. What you shaking your head for, Aaron?
Y'all saying like what a comeback. I'm trying to see what he coming back from. I ain't really been missing.
I mean, they coming back from the fact that Harden's been out with the hammy.
Yeah, I'm talking about Kevin Durant though. Kevin Durant's been Kevin the whole time.
Yeah, no, that's
spectacular though. That last three on the 9-on-1 pass, and he busted it. I was like, oh shit, it's over with. That was like, I watched that whole shit. That was a good game. But other than that, I think Kevin's been the most consistent in the series.
Of course.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say don't call to come back. That's all I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I think Kyrie's been the guy.
You think Kyrie's been the guy throughout the playoffs?
Consistently, yeah. I think he's been the one. I mean, he was the one consistently putting up numbers. Like Kevin would have, his couple of points, whatever, but Kevin wasn't really going off until as of late.
Yes and no.
He's been doing his thing. Now he ain't had no 50-point bomb. Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
He's been 20 plus the whole time.
But that's not enough for Kevin, because when you've got people arguing that he is the best scorer in the league and he's the second best player in the world, bro, I need you to have more than 20 points. I need 30 plus a game every time. Every time. You know what I mean? So where Kyrie, if you give me 20 or plus a game consistently, I'm cool with that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's all, let's be honest, that's all he really has been doing, other than he hit that one game. Did he get 39?
Yeah, I think he did one game.
Yeah, he got 39 in that one game.
Against the Celtics, or you talking about the Bucks? Because he was balling against the Celtics.
Yeah, it was against the Celtics on that one.
Yeah, he was.
Bucks, he hadn't once. It seems like he's been deferring to Kevin Durant, and I mean, it's understandable if he's on your team.
Well, I think certain matchups, you know what I mean. You kind of like, all right, I'll take the lead on this one, or you know what I mean. Especially depending on the exact matchup, if that makes sense. Like Kyrie, like he's pretty confident against Boston. That's his old team, one of his old teams. He knows the skill set on that team. He knows the X's and O's, the coaching style, stuff like that. He's probably like, I know how to, you know what I mean?
I don't know if I can agree with that. And just listen, I don't even know if they would have beat Boston with Jaylen Brown in the game.
I mean, I think they would have. I think they still would have took care of business.
I will say this: the game before last with the Bucks and Nets, it was like 86-83, some bullshit like that.
Yeah, that was the exact
score.
That
was a terrible game, period. So I'm throwing that one out because I don't.
You throwing it out?
Throwing it all the way out.
You can't throw it out. It's tied up or no? That was the
win. But I throw all those stats out. The game was terrible, right? So I don't even look at those stats. It might have been good stats for some people, but I don't. An 80-point game and you got that many shooters on that team. The Bucks maybe could get 80 points, but the Nets get 80 points.
That was a good game for Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton had 35, 15, and 1 in that one.
That's what's up, Chris. You finally.
And Giannis had 33, 14, and 2.
Chris is the one that needs to, as far as the bus is concerned, to be more consistent.
Right. They need Chris.
You
They
know,
can't do it without Chris.
Giannis took my advice and everybody else's advice and motherfucking started attacking the basket. It's been working to a more competitive game, but you know, it's kind of hard to sustain for 7 games. So it's what, 2-2 now? Or is it 3-2?
No, it's 2-2. Oh, it's 3-2 with the fifth. We had the Kevin Durant's game.
Well, you know, Kyrie might take up that ankle, goddamn it, and do what James Harden did. Just go ahead and come on out.
Listen, I guarantee you he does more in that game than James Harden does, because that motherfucker didn't show up. I don't care. I don't know if you could even use the injury as an excuse.
He still has some PTO available.
The nigga was hurt, man. The nigga was hurt. He was hurting.
I don't think you could use that as an excuse.
But that brings up a good point. So LeBron went on an Instagram rant, Twitter rant earlier, and said, he said, fans, I'm so sorry y'all were going to miss some of the best players in the league right now. I told the NBA, which they didn't listen to me at the beginning of the season, that this comeback time on December 22nd was too early from the last season. And this is why you're seeing a lot of these injuries and things happen with these great players. So now I'm wondering, is LeBron right? Is that the prime reason? Did they come back too soon? Should they have waited till MLK Day like they proposed?
I'm gonna throw my hat in and disagree.
I think I'm leaning more towards a disagreement too, but go ahead.
Y'all had a good old fashioned vacation last year, and then only a few select teams were allowed to come back. Right, so you have the majority of the league got a good rest in. Now there were some players that had a longer season, I get that, but I mean that little rest times will allow the Lakers to prevail in the finals, if you ask me. Because this year they tried to go a whole season and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So you could probably use that as a crutch, but at this point, man, you kind of searching for shit. Like now you just coming up with see, we had to start in December. Goddamn, you didn't say that shit 2 months after that. You saying it now after you sitting at the crib and you get to be mad about it for a little while. That's all I'm saying.
Right? Yeah. Go ahead,
LeBron did say that last year though. He said it like right when the season ended and they discussed when they were going to come back, and that's when we had just won. Obviously, he even said like that's way too soon. Like we just came off with.
It's way too soon for me.
For him, right? For him,
do this like
right?
That.
For him, that's what he was saying.
Right.
Because he just came off of the finals, so of course he has to be a team that played the longest and then comes back and does it again. But that's no excuse. That's a part of being a champion.
Right.
A three-peat, that's some long.
That's a part of being a champion. The issue, Aaron made good points that there was a nice amount of time off for a lot of players, and I find it ironic that a lot of the players that are injured had the most time off. Really.
Good look, Les. We appreciate that. Les likes the new look, by the way.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, go ahead, Cliffy. Yeah, time.
Yeah, they had the most time off for real. KD was hurt, so he didn't even play. He wasn't even playing, right? Kyrie out. Kyrie was out of there, so he had a nice vacay.
That's true.
Who else? Harden.
Harden sat out the majority of the beginning of the season, and I don't think he sat out most of the beginning of the season before he got traded because all the shenanigans.
I'm trying to think of who else. Kawhi. Kawhi wasn't in there very late.
No, that's right.
So I mean to combat that point, it's like well those players got rest too. Like I get that you brought the season back early, but it seems like the Devin Bookers and all of them are still pushing.
Well, I mean, they're also, as they should, though, for sure, because of their age, too. You know what I mean? These guys
right.
22.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It comes a time where your old ass ain't going to be able to do it the way they do it anymore. And you can't try to adjust it to your standards to keep up.
And I
what
will.
You mean we got to start in December? God damn it.
Right, my old ass hurt still.
I will agree with you on that. I mean, you knew what you were signing up for, LeBron, at your age, and the comeback of the victory after the championship at the time. So
You the one that wanted to shoot the movie during the off season.
That's what you get paid. Yeah, and that's what you get paid to do too. At the end of the day, you get paid to play.
That shit when he was retired. I didn't even have to go.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm with Aaron on that one. I don't think I agree with. I don't agree with those statements. You're finding a lot of the players hurt right now because the players that are hurt are injury prone.
You believe in what Big Baby Davis said?
What? What'd he say?
Talking about since he tried to step on the Celtics logo, that's why his ankle got twisted. That's some whole shit. Don't bring that shit up. That ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm twisting my ankle, man. This nigga won't bring that shit.
but it could have been bad.
That's his karma.
It could have been.
Yeah, you gotta be that nigga to go online and say some stupid shit like that. You can't do it. I mean, I get it. You go, you twist his ankle? Should have stepped in that Celtics logo. That's what happened.
That's what he would say. That's what he would say. But unless that motherfucker got a voodoo doll at the crib with a Kyrie jersey on, I don't think that's why he twisted his ankle.
No, he twisted his ankle because he came down wrong. Well, I think he came down on somebody's foot and he rolled that bitch.
But I mean, I guess that's a part of karma. If that's I just think that, like you said, that was just some hater shit, and he just wanted to say some shit because he felt the way when he stepped on the logo.
I'm fatting up the NBA.
Them motherfuckers ain't paying you no more, baby. Last I checked, Ice Cube was.
Yeah, I seen
baby Glenn Davis. I don't know why I was thinking of Kendrick Perkins for a minute.
When he ever been a baby?
Kendrick Perkins?
That nigga came out the womb grown.
Davis got his name for crying. That nigga used to cry a lot all the time.
He did. He was a true for LSU though when he played for LSU.
Listen,
college is a whole different beast. So you can be that nigga in college.
You right.
I remember him rim jamming a couple times in the NBA. His little ass got up and dunked a couple times, but
you carry a lot of weight. You know, when he's that height, but you also that weight. You know, that's what makes Zion and Charles Barkley so interesting. Them boys.
You said so interesting. Okay, I was about to say, because you can't compare them. That's a different league. Charles Barkley and Zion, and then Big Baby Davis.
No, I'm just saying it's big people that try to jump. Man.
Well, they were a lot more athletic than Glenn Davis ever was. You heard what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what makes them boys so special.
Right. I just thought at first.
Tucker can't jump like that. He ain't even that big, but he's short, and he ain't got them athletics like the other boys do.
But I mean, you gotta give KD even more peace because I feel like that was a game that everybody counted him out. You know what I mean? Everybody thought that with no Kyrie, no Harden, and the fact that Harden was out there for 46 minutes and I mean, he put up his little 5 points and all that, but I feel like they respected him a little bit too much on defense. Like you let him live. You didn't extort that injury. Like
you didn't try to put pressure on him.
Right. Like you should have been running Giannis at Harden every trip you could have. Try to keep up.
Still, the game plan wasn't too terrible. I mean, they almost won the game. Like, if it wasn't for that KD 3 at the end of the game, we have a different conversation.
They were close.
You know what I'm saying? It was a close game. That's what kind of makes it interesting because the rest of the Nets, for the most part, if KD had 49, and what was the total of, was it 103? What was the end score?
The end score was 114.
Right.
114, 108.
Still, that's a significant amount of points. And that's a large amount. You know, so the rest of the team,
he got more than
half. Was it close to half?
Damn near half. He a little off a half. He probably about 44%, 45% of the points.
So yeah, that's what y'all see. He definitely carried the team that game. It was KD time. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
It was definitely KD. You gotta give Jeff Green some peace too. He came back. He came back as consistent as you expect Jeff Green to be. You know what I mean? Like, even when he comes back from an injury, it's like he's Jeff Green. He's gonna get in his rhythm. He ain't gonna give you hella points, and I almost questioned that. I almost was thinking if you did put him in the position, how much you think he'd give you?
I guess
they tried that in the past.
Right, well, like if he has to be, you know, I mean,
now
I won't say God forbid because I don't really care if the Nets win or lose, but I mean,
but now he's like
if everybody went down, I would imagine him to be the next in line, expected to do something. Well, him and Blake. So what do you think he could put up if he was the expected man in a night?
I don't think that's going to end up good. You know, he's good in his role. If you want Jeff Green to be the man of your team,
I mean, but who else would be at that point? It's between him, Blake, and Mike James.
What you're talking about is the Nets losing, and
right?
As it goes down.
To answer my question, I think he could put. I think you see him put up some 28-point games.
Perhaps.
20. That's a brief. I think maybe 12. 14.
He does that regularly. He does that regularly coming off the bench.
But as
I think they're going to lose by 30, though, is what I'm saying. That 28 is going to come off of him shooting 30 shots or some shit like that. He's going to be working hard.
Right. I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so. But you gotta think. And motherfuckers like that don't get their P's for real for their efficiency. When you're just expected to knock down, you got to knock down. You don't get a lot of touches like that. And he knocked the shots down that he was supposed to knock down in Game 5 when he came back. You know who didn't? Harden. You know who didn't? Joe Harris. Now, I'm not saying that even great shooters don't have off nights. Harden, I'm questioning him throughout the playoffs. Just because you had a decent little series with the Celtics doesn't mean that you erased all those years of not showing up in the playoffs for me. And now I feel like, injury or not, here's the same old Harden.
I'm not.
Here's the same old postseason Harden, I should say. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm talking about Jeff Green. As far as Jeff Green is concerned, just to answer your question, I don't see him. Even if he does score the points or has a game that you think of, is at the cost of him being the point of the team, which isn't exactly the best way to play the game.
But right? You're right. You are right there.
So what I'm saying is, like, it's a lose-lose situation. Jeff Green might play well, but it's gonna be like a self-accolade type of. Jeff Green had 28 points, yes, but they also lost by 35.
Well, see, that's also you tap dancing around the question, because I didn't ask whether they'd win or lose. It started as a hypothetical, because as we all know, KD is still healthy and playing. I said if he was to be the point man, how much would you see him making? You talking about?
I'm saying that shit don't, but it's like a mute question because
it is a mute question.
But they're gonna get his ass whooped. It's like
it is a mute question, but the only reason that it popped in my head is because Jeff Green is very consistent. Jeff Green always seems to come through in the clutch. So if he had that opportunity to be that man for just 2-3 games of a playoffs, how many points you think he putting up in them games? And I'm thinking he puts up more than people expect him to, because he puts up 18 coming off the bench and shit.
Yeah, but coming off the bench against the other team's second string is different than playing a game as a starter against the other starters. You know what I mean?
I get it, but in the game of basketball, it's different from football. It's not like your full second string comes out. You rotate. So sometimes you'll have 3 starters on the floor with a couple bench players, and you still saw Jeff Green on Antetokounmpo a few times in Game 5. So it's not like he's not getting professional reps. He's out there with the big boys, second string or not. And he's still...
My bad. I was gonna say, have y'all seen PJ Tucker and Kevin Durant's battles in this series, like personally and stuff like that?
Well, you know, PJ Tucker is always the guy that you put on the toughest matchup.
I'd have been all around the world,
and it doesn't seem to matter what the matchup is. Them motherfuckers be likely to put PJ Tucker on center if they thought that was the toughest matchup. He's always guarding the toughest man on the floor.
Yeah, he's a bully.
Yeah,
that's a guy you got to give peace to for real. He's very underrated.
Yeah, he is.
You can look at PJ Tucker. And like you can see the bully in him. He's just a bully who pushes people. I'm not saying he's a bad person, but on the court,
right? I know what you mean.
Okay, I know why you're out here. They're not passing you the ball to score. You come out here.
Well, he good for some shots.
You could.
He got a decent mid in the corner three.
PJ Tucker serves a purpose. And he serves well. I'm the tough guy on the floor. He's one of the last of a dying breed. He's been around for a while.
Yeah, he has been around for a while. I don't know how many years, and I won't even throw one out there.
He plays his role of coming out here with hard-nosed basketball.
Right.
Not dirty basketball. It's going to be hard-nosed basketball. Guard you up the floor, get in your face a little bit, talk a little shit, whatever.
Right.
I don't like that this computer is so high. I know that's off topic, but I feel like to look up at the camera, I got to look up. You know what I mean? And it's not natural. I feel like I got to look straight.
You're already
adjust the height of your chair, my brother.
Well, I was gonna say you're already a little bit shorter on the shorter side. So
you know what I'm saying?
Look,
I was gonna give you advice. I was gonna say push you up.
That's as tall as my chair goes. I'm on a stool.
I was like, his feet probably pedaling, ain't even touching the ground. Probably just
go ahead and get the phone books, pimp. It's all good. Ain't nobody gonna say that. Started with me, bro.
Listen, let me find out.
But no, PJ Tucker, that's what I was gonna say earlier was we talked about Kevin Durant being consistent and him doing KD things. PJ Tucker's actually shutting him down for the most part the past game or two.
Yeah, Game 4, I think Kevin Durant, I think he shut him down to 0 points in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Speaking of Game 4, your big brother, or should I say little big brother, Bobby Portis Jr., that motherfucker looked like AO shooting from the corner. He was banking them off the side of the backboard. I thought he was about to cross somebody up, like he just wanted somebody to look at.
Like, who's AO?
Oh, you young. You don't remember And1?
Yeah,
Hot Sauce and all them. AO was the one that used to throw the ball off the corner of the backboard.
Walmart, Malcolm. Don't bring that up. We all got A1 too.
Did he say that? Is that a flex?
No.
Malcolm hit the showers.
No, these is
Malcolm hit the motherfucking showers.
These is
all black girls
Hey, but my N1's different. My N1's family heirloom. This is my grandfather's clothes where he passed away a couple of years ago that they handed me down. So that's why I got these heirlooms.
Yeah, you better have sentimental value to them.
Yeah, I don't buy no N1. Look, I'm Nike all day, baby. I don't buy no N1.
This nigga said N1. Yeah. Oh man.
Norman Powell. Y'all see Norman Powell got that shoe deal with them niggas, man.
Did he? No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Google the shit. Somebody.
No,
Norman Powell. Who he play for now? Is he on Toronto still?
Yeah. He's on the Blazers.
On the Blazers. Oh, I thought he's on Toronto still. Okay.
And he had a good game in the playoffs.
He knocked on his door. He was like, "Man, fuck it."
Hey y'all, I meant to ask.
He must be hurt. Nobody know it, or he must be pulling the Chadwick Boseman, trying to get his little ends together before.
Nah, you ain't right.
You've been in the league about 6 years, and ain't nobody came knocking at your door about some shoes, and ain't one been calling for the last 3 years.
Nah, G.
We got this quick $15 million for you, pimp.
Nah,
money's
G.
money. Money's money.
You don't want it? He's like, man, look, man, just don't put my name on it. You can be Norman Powell. Don't put Norman Powell on.
Nah, G. He trying to leave some money for his kids or something. I don't know what's going on. Cause And1, who's going? That's like the Shaqs that they sell at Walmart.
New Balance.
Yeah, but that was Shaq trying to.
New Balance is way better than And1.
We can't.
I mean, but New Balance is still not top tier.
But,
New Balance ain't
but I can understand why Kawhi would go with a New Balance, because first of all, Kawhi's the type of person that could say, I'm gonna go with And1, and he is gonna have some delusional young cats buying them bitches. Like, we gonna bring them back.
Right.
Norman Powell is not that guy. Kawhi Leonard is struggling with his New Balance deal.
I bet.
I don't know of I've never even seen a pair of Kawhis that weren't on my phone or an East Bay magazine. No, I'm just saying.
Hey.
Do you have a hand in designing them shits?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like his brainchild, man. Look, just put an N on there for New Balance, and then just color it a color.
I remember they explained why he picked the colors and did that the way he did, but I can't remember what the explanation was.
Because you can't get past the way the shoe look. You're like, all right.
Yeah, the shoe.
But I've never seen them on like a person's foot. They're like They're like those Yeezy clouds. Like you see them on your phone or in a magazine, but you don't see. No one ever wearing them.
I know a few people.
Now it came out though.
You said what?
Them shits just came out.
Yeah, they did.
About a year, some change.
Definitely a year and some change, because I remember I was listening on the radio to his reasoning on behind the colors and the design, and I was driving into work, and we all know the pandemic hit. Motherfuckers been working from home, so it's been a nice minute since they released, because it wasn't snowing outside. So that lets me know it had to be well over a year.
I mean, they might be a good ball and shoot. They might be comfortable as fuck. Like when you're in the gym.
They would have to be as feeble as his knees are.
Yeah.
His landing better be like a 757 smooth on the runway, or he's blowing out a motherfucking wheel. So, as we know from Game 4. But, yeah, let's move on. Because, Bobby Portis, that I just had to, did you see them shots I was talking about? It was like two of them off the side of the backboard, corner threes.
I believe so. I probably wouldn't. I really don't pay attention to Bobby Portis.
And I'm rooting for my guy. I am rooting for him, you know. And he's shown up defensively and hit a couple threes. I have seen that, but that game,
he had a bad rep. We all know what happened to him, and you know he's trying to prove his basketball prowess, because he's trying to do that to a teammate. Niggas gonna remember that. Yeah, you one of the people that can't just take a joke. Last time they got his jaw knocked off.
But I don't know, because that's, once again, I don't know if we can speak on that, because we don't know that situation.
True. I'm just saying.
It seemed probably. Yeah. What was you about to say? What was you about to say, cuz? Not you. You.
No, I'm saying, I get what you're saying, but that's from the outside looking in. You see him as a teammate that's volatile. You know, if you're in the NBA and the only time you've ever seen somebody's jaw get broke is with this nigga in your whole tenure, when he comes to your team, you want to know off rip.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time,
what I'm saying is I'm going to ask him what happened, and we're going to go from there.
But I'm sure they don't even have to. I'm sure they don't have to ask him what happened. Listen, all I'm saying is you don't know what it was in the locker room. I'm sure it could have been a situation where the other team was like, listen, he about to get fucked up if he keep messing with Bobby like that.
True. And tell me that when I ask you.
And I'm sure that they also speak with other players in the NBA to the point that they know, like, yeah, I know why he got his jaw broke.
That might be the case, but this is Bobby Portis, and no offense to him, you know, his story might not get told well in different places.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely sure that he's not gonna go down as, you know, nobody. Yeah. That's gonna be his highlight of his career, breaking Mirt's jaw.
Yeah, so as a new teammate, this might just be me. But I heard what happened to the last boy. You know what happened with that, because you're not doing that here.
Nah, nigga, I just need to know you got me. You got me in the team. What's good? Is that it? I don't care if you got aggressive. I don't care if you upset, nigga. Do you have the squad or no?
Yeah. So you have a question though to ask as soon as this nigga in, because I heard what happened.
That don't got but that don't got shit to do with me. I'm sure that I'm the kind of person that's thinking in my head like, I'm sure he probably deserved it.
He might have.
You don't just do something like that with knowing you make the money you make and risking it, knowing you can get shipped off, unless it's a situation where you like, fuck this.
Now, here's the problem. The problem isn't the punch. The problem is the broken jaw, right? That's the only reason why
he hit him in a sweet spot. It's not that easy. It's not that hard to break a jaw.
what I'm trying to say is that fights happen all the time in practice, but people usually don't get injured.
Right.
But when people get injured in a fight during practice,
no, I get that.
There's one, like if you break your hand on the punch and you hitting this dude, you're in just as much as trouble because you're putting yourself in risk.
Well, apparently he in the wrong sport because he hit him in that sweet spot.
You ever look at Bobby Portis play the game of basketball? I think his eyes is wide open the whole time. He like this going down the court. He don't blink or nothing. He just be running down the court like this. He makes everything straight. You passing the rock.
Nah.
Right. You better pass that rock.
You are right. You are right.
It's cool.
Hey, Michael Jordan was
that's
like
your,
that.
That's why that's your big little brother. Or
Michael
your little
Jordan beat
big
up
brother.
Steve Kerr.
He ain't beat up shit. He punched him.
He whooped his. It don't matter. He knocked him down in practice. Steve Kerr was upset.
And Steve Kerr punched him back.
No, he did a little windmill and miss.
No, Steve Curry, I think he connected.
Yeah, he punched him back. But I think it was like a weak ass shot, like a chest shot. Like it wasn't like a.
He might bust his blood on his teeth, shit like that. Mike got blood on his teeth. Stop practice.
Steve Kerr strikes me as I'll punch you in the stomach or the chest. Like he was scared to hurt Mike. He wouldn't hit him in the face. He was going to hit him in
like the wrist or something.
Like a check. Like, oh, don't hit me like that. Bow. Not like I'm about to fuck you up for hitting me.
Right. I can see.
I feel like he respected him too much. I can't hurt the guy that's going to give me another ring. Let me just give him one in the chest, let him know I ain't playing.
Love tap.
Right. And then they amped it up for the last dance.
Right, didn't they?
Listen.
They sold it.
But might as well move into that Clippers Jazz, because I do gotta listen. I'm always the guy, and I'm not gonna say I'm wrong by no means, but I'm always the guy that will point my things out that I could have been wrong on. Paul George, and I'm not saying that I'm wrong, but I will say that these past two games, Paul George has been plus 30 points.
Hey, you know, it's one of the things where like he kind of feel like somehow, some way, just, you know, over the shoulder or however it was. Nigga heard what you said.
Listen.
I heard what you said, man.
Listen.
Might not be you, but like, he might be riding in the car. He got a driver.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Paul George, does he still have it?
Now, I'm not saying does he still have it. I know Paul George has it. I've always been a Paul George fan, at least back when he came in Indy. Playoff P, though, is a completely different person, kind of like James Harden. You're amazing throughout the season when it doesn't matter because the pressure is what gets to you. It busts pipes or creates diamonds. And I'm wondering if Harden and George are pipes as opposed to diamonds. Because it seems like whenever the pressure's on, y'all motherfuckers bust. And I'm not talking about shots.
I mean, you're right. As far as I'm concerned, because we all saw what happened last year. That was really discerning. And now this year, you know, it started off concerning. Now they came back, it's tied. And I think they play tonight. I'm watching Hawks in Philadelphia right now. But I think they play tonight.
Yeah, they do.
And tonight is they have to play in Utah. So if they win this game tonight and playoff P shows himself again, I would hope that carries over to the home game the next time.
I would imagine so.
But you know, if he does that shit, because when Paul George plays in other cities or whatever, even at home, but in other cities, like he gets real affected by the crowd. As far as I'm concerned, like I can see the crowd when they start shit at him and shit like that.
I think he's, and I continue if I was cutting you off.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that like when you call yourself things like, I don't think he called himself that, but when you're up at Paul George level, you're gonna have hecklers in the crowd. The crowd's gonna try to get at you. When you hit the free throw line, they're gonna say crazy shit to you and your family, and you could probably hear that shit. But you got to cloud that out. I don't think he's done a good job of that. Like every time he gets to that point, he misses free throws and shit, and he starts blowing shit. You're like, damn, he's blowing layups. You can see him frustrated, but it's like you listening to everybody else instead of just playing the game.
I think what it comes down to is it's a situation of he spoke those words and he ain't mean to.
Right.
He had a few good games in a playoff back in Indy, just like Oladipo did as well. But you didn't hear him come out talking about I'm playoff That ain't happened. So I think what happened was he spoke those words and everybody was like, oh, okay, let's see. And he never lived up to them the following years. And now he looks at those away crowds as a reminder, as well as additional writers that are gonna, hop back on that train if he doesn't produce.
You're lunch meat for journalism.
Right.
If
right.
you talk about that and you don't produce, you get that headline. You're gonna see it somewhere. It's gonna say playoff P ?
You took the words out of my mouth.
I took what you just said.
I was about to say it myself.
That's all I needed to do. Now you fucking the game.
I was about to say that exact shit. I was about to harmonize with your motherfucking ass if I ain't have beer in my mouth. That's exactly the case. And now he's concerned because he doesn't want to see any more of those articles. He's probably the type of motherfucker that reads comments.
Like KD.
Real talk.
But he's not skilled KD. KD can kind of be a weirdo on that shit and still be a monster out there.
But see, that's the thing though, is potentially I feel like he could be just as.
Right.
When you think about somebody his size, 6'9", that's a true point guard. And I'm not talking about a Ben Simmons point guard. I mean like a true point guard. Like can really dribble, can really step back, can really get the ball distributed, can really do all those things.
Like Jalen Rose or Jay.
You said what?
Jalen Rose.
Yep. You are that right with a J.
He just couldn't shoot that well. He could shoot kind of. But I get what you're saying.
But if when you really think about Paul George's potential, it seems like the only person that is beating him is him. Because we know he can do it, but he's just not doing it. Now I'm not saying that to say that he hasn't been. I'm hoping that Game 3 is the turnaround.
Well, we got to talk about the fact that Kawhi is out, though, indefinitely now. See, that's a different amount of pressure.
Kawhi's out now?
Yeah.
They think he tore his ACL.
Oh.
He's out indefinitely. Yeah, he's out indefinitely. So, I mean, that's a different
perspective on the finals. Damn.
Exactly. Because, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Look at him.
Right. Like,
remember I told you I should have put $100 on the Suns making the finals a long time ago. He's starting the regret of not doing it.
Right. Listen, scared money don't make no money, nigga.
I don't even want to look at the odds. None of the odds are something crazy. I probably would have made like $1,700.
Yeah, probably. Probably more.
Yeah, you probably would have made more than that, especially off a $100 bet.
Right. With the Suns.
Especially back when you was talking about that, you probably would have made.
Hey, Cliff, Aaron probably don't know this then too. So, Aaron, you know that CP3's out indefinitely now too due to COVID protocol?
Well, we know it's not indefinitely because even
if... they said indefinitely.
Well, let's be honest. So, if it's COVID protocol...
He has it?
I'm assuming they said...
Yeah, I'm assuming too if that's the case. I'm definitely assuming he has
He's been around somebody that...
Right, so let's talk about it. Let's break this down. If it's COVID protocol... He has 14 days, so-called. Now, it's NBA. He's a marquee name, and he's on a way to a possible ring. So that, huh?
Don't say 10. They're gonna go 10. They're gonna update.
Yeah. You know they're gonna cut it off. They're gonna ask him, when do you think you last got in contact? We'll start it from that day, which is going to trim it down to, like you said, 10, maybe 9. I could see. So he'll come back if they they're already off, they're already in.
I'm saying they got maybe 5 days off. Right? Because they got the Clippers it's 2-2, so there's 2 more games at least. So
there's a chance that goes a week.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
So he might
So he can be back by Game 2 of the finals. And they still meet COVID protocol.
No, niggas be in COVID protocol. They be on the bench and shit still.
You
might be on the bench and shit still talking shit. You know.
But that's another thing. It also depends. If they test him and he does come back negative, they probably will allow him on the bench because you're not a risk to spread so much as you just came in contact with.
Isn't everybody vaccinated?
No.
Everybody. I think it's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not everybody's vaccinated. That's what they've been talking about. LeBron said he doesn't want to be vaccinated, and everybody's been making a big deal out of that because...
Yeah. I wasn't
let these motherfuckers live, man. God damn is my thing.
I'm trying to win that money. I know I won't, though, but listen, it'd be nice.
What, win that money? Shit, you might as well. Did you enroll? Do Atlanta do it?
I think we're the only state, Cuddy, that's doing
it. Nah, we ain't the only one.
Millions. I think other people are offering different stuff. I don't know if it's money. They could be. I hadn't heard about any other states offering.
You talking about betting?
No, for getting vaccinated, they putting you in a lottery for $1 million, and they draw like one a week or something like that.
Total of 5. Yeah, there's one more left.
I'm vaccinated. I ain't getting no motherfucking $1 million.
You said what?
I'm vaccinated and I ain't getting no motherfucking $1 million in this bitch.
Listen, well, I'm not saying I wouldn't get vaccinated. I'm just saying that
I only did it because of my grandma. I'm going up there in a couple months, and
that's why.
Like I said, man, she damn near 100, so she going because of my dumb ass. I'm gonna look.
Well, my grandparents are vaccinated. They was never really pressed like that before that. So I just go over with the mask and
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But they vaccinated, and listen, we was hugging before the pandemic or during the pandemic, so if y'all ain't scared, I'm not scared. You know what I mean? I'm not around hella motherfuckers like that anyway. That's not how I get down, so.
Right. And I'm just not. This is apples and oranges. All I'm saying is she's legit 100 years old. So.
Well, when you go. No, I'm just
I'm not trouble. And she COVID-19. And this brother.
Yeah, I know what you. Yeah, I know exactly.
The funeral service. Hey, stand up.
Right. Yeah, you, the one.
Yeah.
The COVID. Show us your records.
Where's your mask, brother?
The sad part is there's somebody out there right now that's having to deal with that probably in their family.
Oh, you know that, and God bless them. Fuck the haters.
I don't know how we got on that, but anyways, CP3's out right now, but y'all made a good point. He definitely has.
Yeah, that's not an indefinite thing. They're just saying, they're gonna say that indefinitely just means until we can decide.
Right.
That doesn't mean that they're out indefinitely. Like, nah, motherfuckers get that shit twisted. Indefinitely could mean tomorrow.
Right, that's true. Until further notice.
Right.
That's what they need to phrase it as. He is out until.
Nah, because lines and articles make more money off of indefinitely. You click on indefinitely. You don't click on until further notice.
Right.
You wait for the notice. Right. You feel me?
Now, we didn't talk about how originally the Jazz swept the Nuggets, though, did we? No,
we didn't. We didn't. That shit happened so quick, didn't it? I think we might have touched it. I think we did touch it. Yeah, because I remember talking about Donovan Mitchell hitting the 40.
Y'all talking about the Suns slipping the Nuggets, right?
Yeah, that's what we said. The Suns.
Oh no. Yeah, you're right. So wait, who did?
The Suns.
Yeah, you threw me all the way out. So who did? I wonder who Donovan hit the 40 on.
The Jazz played the Mavericks.
Nah.
Memphis. That's right. I'm all the way out.
Yeah, the Clippers played.
Okay, so yeah, it was right. Memphis.
What I'm trying to say is that the Suns, Devin Booker was not an all-star.
Wait, what?
Devin Booker was not an all-star this year. And I don't think Chris Paul was all-star. I don't think so.
He was
Devin Booker made it. He was the reserve for AD. He ended up taking AD.
And I think Chris Paul was the reserve too.
Okay. Well, two guys that weren't originally or naturally voted in as all-stars.
Right. No,
Now Jamal Murray or not, because Jamal Murray wasn't in there. I will say that. At the same time,
it wouldn't matter.
As MVP, you got to take two of them guys with you you can't go out full zip. You gotta be like, yo, we went out 6-4-2.
Right.
We couldn't hold it down when they whitewashed y'all. Wasn't no hope. Third game y'all went in. They ejected old boy for no reason, for real.
Joker, that was
yeah.
Like,
that foul on Cameron Payne, that was not. Right. There was no fucking. That shouldn't even been a flagrant one. I get that he swiped it, crossed his face, but my idea of a flagrant one is when someone's going up for a shot, like a layup, and you come down on their head.
Like something that can cause an injury.
Right, but like swiping at the ball and going across your face is not a big deal. That's a hard foul. Not a flagrant one, and he got a 2.
I think the fact it was a frustration foul too, though.
Yeah, some of it. You can see some of it. That brought me to a question. What were you about to say? What you was about to say?
That's how you feel. You check them up. Hey, look. You checking me how I'm like, look, I know y'all losing, but chill. But they went ahead and went the whole level. Was it flagrant 2? And kicked them out. So
right.
That's kind of like, and he's the best player on the team. That's the other part. It may sound like you're not supposed to give people, what's that shit, privileges and shit. But he's the MVP of the league. He's frustrated that his team is losing. You should understand that foul. That foul's a frustration foul. The MVP of the league. I'm about to get swept. I can feel it coming. You go for the swipe. I wind up a little bit. If that's the case, check me up. But leave me out here. You know what I'm saying? You took him out of the game. So then you make game 4 unfair towards the end.
Oh, shout out to my guy Donovan. He's back.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What's up, Donovan? He talked about who do we have
tonight?
Is gonna win the Nets game. Oh, tonight. Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
That's tough. And I'm glad you asked that question because I meant to ask that to the panel, Donovan. Look, he might have to get a job. Give this young man a job.
Lloyd Black, his name Donovan.
You don't know that.
I knew
I know some white Donovans.
I know a white dude named Kendall. You?
Well, you're also in Atlanta, so I'm sure it's a lot of white dudes with black sounding names down there.
Yeah, okay.
But that's a tough one, to be honest. I mean, I imagine the smart bet would be to go with the Bucks, because I don't see the Bucks doing that like that. But at the same time, you gotta ask yourself, how long can Giannis keep this up? Like, he can't keep putting 30 up a night. And let's be honest, if you stop him, I'd be comfortable letting Middleton get his shots off.
Brook Lopez is the X factor in this. Man.
Okay.
Good take. Lopez has to decide whether he's going to shoot threes or he's going to start bodying up.
And do your job. Get some rebounds.
He's the biggest dude on the court for both teams.
And he stays at the top of the fucking key.
But to his credit, he does make, I would say, 30%.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I think it may even be a little higher than 30% is 3-point, but...
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, where are you most needed? Or do we need you shooting threes?
Right. Where is...
Here as a big body.
I can see the trailing threes because he does that. Like, he takes a while to get back on defense just so he can get the ball at the top of the key and...
Even if you try to be the fastest nigga on the court, you're not going to be that.
He said he white. See? It's white Donovans.
Right.
And he's from Florida, so let's be honest. That's down there. Let's get it. Right. And he said, yeah, Joker could have broken his nose. That's not. I don't consider that a serious injury though, Donovan. Yeah. And I don't know, that may be our generation separating us, but I know a lot of ball players that I've seen me growing up, like watching in the 90s, that play with broken noses.
They be crying walking up to the side.
I remember that they had broken noses before. Remember before the mask really came out. You didn't see the mask until, who was it? Rasheed Wallace?
I was gonna say Rip.
Rip Hamilton. Well, he wore it. That was his staple. But was he the
Ben
first?
Wallace.
He might have been the first.
Ben Wallace had. I know Ben Wallace had it too.
But that was 2000s.
I don't know who had it before then. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It wasn't Kobe.
Horace Grant just had them big ass goggles. They might have protected his nose. But I don't.
Goggles though.
I don't think I ever saw that face mask before then.
John Spottershell had them goggles.
I feel like somebody may have had it, like John Stockton or somebody.
Face mask?
It might not have been John. I might. Yeah, somebody Google that when the first face mask was out.
When the first face mask.
But yeah, I feel like Jokic. They took him out the game to put him out his misery. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna happen. Let's just get it done tonight so we don't have to. But you would think the NBA would want him out on the court because more games equal more commercial time. Blase skid.
Yeah, I mean he's the first center to be MVP in a long time.
And he's your MVP, right? You would want him out if you could get them. I would think that the calls would have went the opposite way, is what I'm saying. So to see him to get a flagrant 2 on that was just wild to me.
Bill Laimbeer with the face mask.
Bill Laimbeer.
We had the face mask in the 80s for a little while.
I can't see his face. I know that name though.
Bill Laimbeer, he played for the Pistons. He was the white dude. Rick Mahorn was the goon. That was the black dude. Bill Laimbeer was the white dude.
Okay.
Joe Dumars.
Right.
I
knew I seen it.
He I think he coached a WNBA team for a while. That's besides the point. But
right.
What I'm say is that Bill Laimbeer was part of the Bad Boys Pistons. Definitely.
And then Donovan came back and said, do you think Harden should have played 48 minutes in Game 5 as the first game back? Because he went 3 of 11 with 5 assists. No, he went 1 of 10, sir. He went 1 of 10. He ended the game. You talking about the game KD scored 49? Harden was 1 of 10 with 5 points, 6 assists, or 6 rebounds, 8 assists.
I mean, they kind of.
But to answer your question, no, I feel like he had no choice. He had no choice but to come back out there, and it was very clear that the Bucks were more scared of the name than the ability.
Right. Because
they should have went at him every play possible. They should have ran him back to the bench. They should have had Giannis and Middleton going at him every play until he was like, yeah, I got to sit back down. My hams, it's just not working. And they didn't do it.
Decoy.
So clearly, right, but you can't be a decoy on defense.
Right.
Unless the coach just isn't visibly seeing he's hurt. Go at him. He's hurt. And nobody. So listen, who was it that said Bud need to hit the shower? Is that you, Aaron?
Yeah. Aaron.
I guess I gotta agree with that because that was ridiculous.
Well, speaking of that, do we want to talk about Scott Brooks not accepting his new deal? So they parted ways in Washington, and then who got let go? I sent you earlier. I sent both. I think I sent.
Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Stan Van Gundy. That was ill to me. But before we go, we'll get into that. Just wanted to say, question wise, do y'all feel like Kawhi should play tonight? He
tore. I mean, they said he tore his ACL, so I don't think it should you play.
They said it's a chance, but he also played on it as well.
But how's that going to help you in the long run? If it is an ACL situation, you play.
I mean, I guess he was a little. Did he stay out after that injury? I thought he came. Did he come back in? I thought he came back in for a little bit.
He has a knee.
He might have stayed out after he went down.
It says it's a right knee sprain.
Yeah, I knew. I didn't think it was a tear or anything like that, but
it's a right knee sprain. So what are we talking about here? Are we talking about actual tissue that's been torn.
Not in a sprain.
That's what I'm saying. Because y'all say he tore his ACL not too long ago.
Well, no, that's what. So when it happened, there were a lot of speculation articles that went around, and that was the first one that I saw that as well. That it was a tear, but they're saying it's a sprain now.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. A right knee sprain.
But see, that's what I'm saying. And it's a shame that you have to say this.
That's a big difference for one.
It is, but it could still a bad sprain could still keep you out for a while.
It very well can. I can't deny it.
It's not as bad as a tear by no means, but
tear you out.
Yeah, you're out. It's donezo.
Yeah,
right.
Be out there.
A sprain, you're right. It's not as bad, but it could still keep you out. But it's a shame that we're at a point right now, and I think we touched on it last episode too, that you have to question every player's injury. Because some of them just aren't serious. You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, you didn't question injuries because people played injured.
Mm-hmm.
They would announce it like, yeah, so-and-so's playing on a sprained knee, so we'll see how he does tonight. But you knew he wasn't sitting on the bench unless he couldn't play at all. Now it's like, yeah, I got a sore big toe. I don't think I'll be able to make it this game. So it's like we start to question all the injuries that happen. So that once again makes me feel like LeBron is bitchish.
I'm gonna say this, and it's not. I don't think it's an English.
And I only say that to say for the statement that you made. I'm sorry, NBA fan. No, I'm sorry, NBA, for allowing players to just be like, yeah, I'm sitting out. That's why this is an issue. Not because players are injured, because if y'all didn't just sit out every chance y'all had the opportunity to, we wouldn't question when you were actually out with an injury.
That's true. Yeah, it's different times now.
I'm off it.
Donovan said, do you think LeBron retires after his contract ends at the Lakers?
When's that, next year?
I'm not sure, actually. I can look it up.
I don't think so, Donovan. I really don't think so. I think he's going to try to ride it out as long as he can. Like he said in that interview, he said, because remember, he first said, I'll never be 100%. Remember that?
Right.
That one where you gave him hit the showers. Then he came back out and was like, nah, I feel great. I feel good. I feel as good as I ever have. I plan on playing another 3 years, is what he said.
So he's with us until the 2022-2023 season at least.
So, right, that's next year, at the end of next year, and then he's up for... Yeah, no, I really do see him coming out. I heard Bronny showed out in his first game.
He did.
And I heard everybody was going crazy. And I feel like that's more motivation for him to be like, yeah, I want to play with my son. You know what I mean? To see your son actually progressing and becoming a man out there, like, oh, it's only a couple more years? Yeah, I'll stay around. Because you got to think Bronny would be out in, 2 more years? Well, assuming they stop that going straight to college. If he can come straight out of high school and develop into being a player that can come straight out of high school, he's not there yet. I will admit, not there yet. But if he can, he only has 2 more years, which means if LeBron says he has 3 more years, that would mean the last year would be with his son.
Man.
The question is, what team would you have to go back to that could pull that off to where you would go there and be able to play with him?
I want to ask this question. Is LeBron okay with being mediocre for a year?
I think so, if he has a son.
Is he well, I'm talking about before then.
Like the year before his son comes.
Man, look, man. You know, I wish LeBron's son the best, but I do not see him as we got to get him out of high school. And I know LeBron James is a big influence on that. He can make that happen, perhaps. Right.
Oh, you know he can if if Bronny's ready, he can make that happen.
But that's in his eyes, and that's that's his son, and I hope it happens. All I'm saying is like, man,
I do
look,
too, in a weird way.
I look at the situation. I'm like, man, I don't think your son is NBA ready in 2 or 3 years. That's just me. So if you put him in there, you kind of put him in the lion's den of like, be like daddy. Yeah.
No, see, I think that, and that's funny that you say that.
If he has to come out of high school straight up, that's what he's saying. Because there's no.
It's funny that you say that.
Half step.
Right. No, I get exactly what you mean. Now, here's the thing. Here's where I see it being his downfall. Because I don't see it being like, oh, you're skipping and you're not ready. We'll see how it pans out. I see LeBron being his old calculated self, watching on the sidelines like, I could do something with this. Like, if you were running down the court on the opposite side of me, old or not, I can do something with this. I see you developing. I can imagine what you're going to be 2 more years from now. I can definitely do something with this. So what's going to happen, at least in my eyes, if this comes to fruition, is you're going to see LeBron making him look better. Throwing him oops, hitting him on open passes in transition, doing all that shit. And then once LeBron retires, you're going to see Bronny's career be like, oh, we thought he was going to be, and then it didn't happen because he doesn't have his father there to kick him.
I'm going to give y'all a score update. The 76ers is up 22 points on the Hawks. But
I figured as much as that too.
What I was going to say is that that's great, but LeBron, man, I hope it happens, man. I don't want to say no more that doesn't make it happen. But I will say this. When you look at Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr.,
right?
Ken Griffey Jr. is better than Ken Griffey Sr. That's just the way it is.
Well, okay. Brings up
that's what people kind of compare it to.
Right. Brings up a good question.
Obvious.
Brings up a good question. Who else? And before we do you answer that question, I do want to acknowledge Donovan's statement. He said, I play soccer and football, but I play injured. But when it's severe, I won't play because that's how my grandfather told me to play. Right. And I get that 100. Nobody's saying to play injured when you know, right, when you know it can cause. Listen, we don't want, especially for you because you're still young and developing, we don't want career-ending injuries. So no one wants you to play if you feel like you're overextending yourself. But all I'm saying is if it's something like, I mean, even if we're talking semi-severe, a broken nose, listen, we can always, it depends on what kind of dog's in you. Snap that back in place and let's hop back in that game. I've seen a lot of people do that in Pee-wee. So I really do feel a certain kind of way.
Breathe through your nose, breathe through your mouth.
Listen, I've seen that in Pee-wee, so I can't respect a man that's like, oh, my lip, when he swiped down, it kind of pulled away from my teeth, and now I gotta sit out with cotton. That's you soft.
But like it's like the devil side of that is that has to happen in order for you to sell the foul. You have to sell the foul. So
now we have to sell the foul.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what these kids have learned over the years is
sell the foul, right?
Jump in and do this and make his hands like they don't even concentrate on shooting the ball. They rather just get contact and do this.
So then you kind of gotta act injured, right? Because you sold the foul, and it's like I might not really be hurt, but if I hop back up, they gonna be like, "Oh, you flopping ass." So I gotta limp off the court just to act like, man, this is when. So I mean, like, why do they deserve?
I think if that's the way it's played.
I mean, you have to adapt, right? But see, that's not me. Like, that's just not me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's the ref's job to call that foul. If I get fouled and I get fouled, it's the ref's job to call it. I'm not going to try to do your job for you and sell it. No, I'm going to try to power up through that foul and make that shot.
I'm not going to bring up any other particular sport, but there's only one other sport where this kind of happens.
Soccer.
No, well, soccer, yes. You're all right. Yeah, all right. Well, 3. Baseball. Because soccer is like, more or less theater and everything else. People do get hurt in soccer, and I know that's people but in football there's this line of really being hurt,
right,
and then acting like you're hurt, which gets walked on a lot. And I don't want to talk about football too much, but that's kind of like the line in basketball. Like, look, niggas go on the ground, they go like, we're gonna take a TV timeout. We think he's hurt, and then nigga stands up.
That's different though, because that's strategy too. When it's a timeout situation, depending on the clock and all that. But football,
basketball too.
Football, I'm gonna have to disagree with, just for the fact that your contracts aren't guaranteed. You get hurt, you go home. A lot of those players, so motherfuckers ain't gonna act like I'm hurt if I'm not really hurt, because that affects my contract. If they think I'm hurt, I may go home with nothing. That's not the case in basketball. So it gives them that incentive to play like they're hurt when they're not really hurt. Nah, nigga, go home.
I guess that was more important towards quarterbacks. So I should have spent.
Well, quarterbacks are baby. You got to think they're redshirted even in practice. So imagine
when they get nicked and touched, we're from the quarterback. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, that's different too.
I didn't really go too far into football, but
right.
I'm trying to say that there are some players.
I get what you mean, but that's different.
That injury ploy. So if you're LeBron, and I'm LeBron, I'm not LeBron, but I'm saying if you're LeBron and you get hit and you feel like you've been hurt real bad, you go like this. It's injury timeout. Then it's the real timeout. So we talk real quick. Yeah, look, I'm back, but look, you need to go off the pick and roll real quick. And this, that, and the third, give me some water and shit. Because niggas take breaks, all that type of shit. So what I'm trying to say is that there's not like a real big difference in what they're trying to do. They're trying to get extra time, right?
Right.
They're trying to get extra time.
I see.
That's all they're trying to do.
I guess, once again, we get back into the injury shit with LeBron. It comes down to, when you do it every play, we start to question if it's really real. In football... Yeah. It can't be done every play. It just cannot, and it does not get done every play.
Sometimes that shit is like
right. So strategically,
you got to put the pixels on that shit when you show on sports.
Strategically, it makes more sense in football to allow that than in basketball. When it's like, you do that every play, get the fuck up. At what point do you say, get your bitch ass up? You're soft. Get up and run down the court and play basketball. Stop waving your fucking hands at me and go down and play defense.
Luka Doncic.
Jokic. Yeah. They all do it. Embiid does it. They all do it.
Embiid is the most fallen 7-foot ass nigga.
He is, man. To be having bad knees, he gets up off the ground more than anybody I know.
That big be falling all the time, nigga. Man, there's other people around this motherfucker, man.
That motherfucker need an elevator for his body. Something to just pick his ass back up, because he hits the dirt. He hits basement floor more than anybody I know to be that tall. You are absolutely correct. But to answer your question, and we'll move on, Malk, you was asking about Stan Van Gundy, and who else did you say?
Scotty Brooks.
Front office. That was a front office move.
Washington Wizards coach, originally coached on the Thunder back in the day with KD and
Scott Brooks.
No.
That's why Russell Westbrook went to the Wizards.
I had to see his face.
He's a small white guy.
Yeah, no, he's not striking any.
Like he could be Steve Kerr's cousin or something.
It's not striking any chords in my mind.
Scott Brooks is the person who was coaching on the Thunder
when KD and Westbrook were there.
KD, Westbrook, and James Harden was there. Yeah. And they got rid of him. They got Billy Donovan from Florida.
Him I know.
And Al Horford, Corey Brewer, you don't go on with that.
Yeah, I know that 2004 championship team.
Ended up on the Wizards, and Russell Westbrook from whatever, he was on the Rockets before then.
Yeah, I had to see his face.
It's not. He played in the NBA though for a little while. Scott Brooks, he in the NBA.
Yeah, I can't see his face. Oh, is that what you just sent me?
Yeah. You don't know that dude?
Okay, yeah, I do know
He was a
him.
dog.
You know who Monty Williams was. I tried to tell this nigga Monty Williams, but I ain't never heard of that nigga.
I did know who that is.
I was like, he's the coach of the Suns. Oh yeah, that nigga, I ain't never heard of him before.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh,
gonna lie.
last year, I was like, how?
Before the Suns started doing well this year,
I don't connect names to coaches until they do something to make me be like.
Monty Williams played in the NBA. He was an NBA player.
Well, yeah, and
NBA player.
I probably would know him as the NBA player, not the coach.
I was just saying, but I know that from that, like Nate McMillan. I know Nate McMillan from being an NBA player.
Right. Yeah, no. I get what you're saying.
Nate McMillan played for the Supersonics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he sure did. But I think the Pelicans fucked up.
Think so?
Yeah, I think that was too early, man. I think that was too early. It just like we talk about in football, like you're changing the whole schematics of the team when you're bringing in a new head coach. And
they had just fired the black coach before they got
before they got Stan Van Gundy, and I think they only improved the season record by like one game or something like that. But regardless, you got to give the team time to adjust. They looked better. I don't know what goes down on paper, right? I'm not there to compare stats in New Orleans specifically, so I'm not analyzing the stats on paper. But as far as me visually watching the team, they looked better than they looked the year prior with Redick in them.
Right.
So I mean, I feel like that should have been enough to say, well, let's see what happens next year, you know. But to get rid of them and be like, nah, we scrapping it, we starting all over.
You gotta think about like the interviews sometimes. Sometimes people oversell themselves in these interviews. Like
you saying, like Stan could have oversold himself?
I guarantee playoffs. With Lonzo Ball and Zion Williamson on my team, and Brandon Ingram,
right?
I guarantee playoffs. And if I don't make the playoffs, fire my ass.
I think the players that want him, because I don't know if y'all remember, this was a while back now, but I think they had lost to the Knicks, and Stan Van Gundy did that interview, and he was like, he just bashed the team. He just was like, high schoolers could have got it done tonight. Y'all just didn't. And don't get me wrong, I get getting on your team, like being the tough coach, but I think
those are like that's what fathers do. Now I'm not saying father, right, but that's what your coach supposed to challenge you at some point. Like you say, you play basketball. I don't see it.
Right.
But I don't. But if you don't, here's my thing. Like even me, like I don't mind someone getting on me and pushing me, but if I don't have respect for you or enough respect for you, I'm not gonna reciprocate. Like that's not gonna resonate with me. And that might have been what happened with the Pelicans. Maybe that it didn't resonate with them from the respect level. I mean, I don't know.
I feel what you said.
I mean, but at the same time as Stan Van Gundy, like y'all are some young fucking pups.
Well, I mean
that you shouldn't. I don't care if it seems disrespectful. He's done more than you have. You would hope to do what he's accomplished in the league. So regardless of how it comes off, you gotta listen.
Well, look at your Raiders. I love John Gruden. Like I said,
man, John Gruden ain't did shit but inherit a team that played against stars to get a chip.
What do they do?
But what I'm saying is,
I said to get a chip.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, he's a quarterback
with the help of the refs.
Right, he's a quarterback guru and a tough-nosed coach. Been around for a long time, right? So all I'm saying is, but my point was, some of these younger guys may not reciprocate that type of style or coaching, or everybody's different.
That's been Chris Paul's problem. Chris Paul's problem is that his particular brand of leadership doesn't always work with the team structure. The Clippers, him and Blake Griffin always had problems. James Harden and Chris Paul always had problems, but he got to the young boys and it worked. So I think Stan had a chance with the young boys, and however it should have worked, but it didn't. And let's just be real, the whole separation has to be like mutual. I think at this point, I think it's a mutual separation.
As far as what Stan and
I think that was a meeting more or less of him being fired. Like,
right, that's what. Okay, I see what you said.
These boys ain't listening to me. I tried everything. You need to find somebody else.
You think that that's accurate? You think that way?
I think.
Stan Van Gundy used to coach the Jazz or about the Magic.
It was Dwight Howard.
Are you telling me that coaching that Magic team, Jameer Nelson and Dwight Howard and all them was better than coaching a Pelicans team with Lonzo, and he would say I should step down?
That's a different decade, different era of players, like maturity and ages and different generations.
You know Stan and Jeff. Hey, look, I'm not gonna say that's what happened because I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Jeff was a.
All I'm saying is like, look,
he was a firecracker. He'll fight your ass.
If somebody called me in the office and said something I didn't like, and I knew I had options, like, look, if I don't get this coaching shit, I can go back to the commentary booth, still make 1.2 a year easy, right? If y'all want me here, y'all want me here. Fire me.
Was he ever in the booth?
Yes.
You talking about his brother?
He was.
Both of them. Both of them.
I don't remember Stan being in the booth.
But then Google it then. And prove me wrong.
I mean, he may have been a guest, but I don't think that he would have a career just because your brother is a good commentator.
No, you don't. Then look it up. He was definitely a commentator. I'm not sitting here flipping shit up.
But he ain't good.
Okay, but he's been it for 5-6 years before then.
I think you confusing the brothers.
You know, I'm not confusing the brothers. They both. All right, look, Jeff had the TNT job or ESPN job. Yes. Stan Van Gundy was doing that shit before he got a job. All right, y'all niggas. All right, cool.
I mean, you might be right before he came around,
that's between you and Clifford. I'm about to Google it though.
Listen, I mean, clearly it's a reason why everybody likes your brother as a commentator over you.
I think someone needs to give Mark Jackson a shot, and I feel like he'd be. So that's Jeff. Anyways, Mark Jackson, I thought would be perfect on the Pelicans.
So but you didn't find Stan? You just dropped the phone after you said, "Oh, that's Jeff."
I typed in Jeff for some reason.
That's the other brother, the bald, the skinny one.
Right. I typed in Jeff instead of Stan by accident. So I dropped the ball on that.
No, I'm not saying he wouldn't. I'm just saying that nobody remembers him. I remember his brother.
Just like Monty Williams.
Well, Monty Williams ain't never been a commentator.
So he did commentate on NBA TV for a little bit at least.
NBA TV. Well, that might, that might be why people didn't know about him, because how many people pay for NBA TV? But also, if you were a good commentator, you'd be on more than just NBA TV.
So now you're arguing if he was a good one.
That's the truth, because if we're trying to bring in fandom, we play you on public access where people can see you on cable. But if we just give him a job, you on NBA TV.
Well, all right, so bad. Think about this then.
Yeah.
Factor this in. Who got the coaching job again? Why is Jeff still in the booth? Who's the better coach?
Well, the question is, another question is, and no, I'll give you Stan's definitely the better coach, but the question is,
how is that? Jeff is the better coach. Jeff Van Gundy's the better coach.
You think?
Patrick Ewing?
I mean, some of that's inheritance, though.
Okay, so now we're talking about commentation and coaching, because all I'm saying is
I'm just saying, when I think of Stan Van Gundy's career, I always see him as the guy that gets brought in to turn the situation around. Now, you talking about Jeff Van Gundy and the Knicks, that was inheritance, in my opinion. You got players that came to your squad and succeeded. You still didn't get a chip. Did you get a chip?
What are you talking about? What are we talking about now? Are we talking about what coaching accolades?
I'm just saying, in New York, did Jeff get a chip?
None of them got a chip. No Van Gundy ever got a chip. None of them.
So what I'm saying is, maybe Jeff's a better commentator and maybe Stan's a better coach, and that's why they're both in the positions they're in, because they both have the same opportunities. Yes, no?
I would say no.
Why not?
Jeff Van Gundy definitely had better teams. He had T-Mac.
Well, he had teams, but
T-Mac. He had Yao Ming, the Rockets. What are you talking about?
Right, teams. Whoa. But that's what I'm saying.
We got to stop all that right there, because Stan Van Gundy had no team like Jeff had.
Right, and he's still coaching, right? And Jeff's talking about it.
Hey, well, you just told me Stan Van Gundy was a terrible coach.
I didn't say he was a terrible coach. First of all, I was the one that said he was the better coach. And you said Jeff Van Gundy in New York with the Knicks?
I'm trying to look up.
Right, yeah, get your story straight. Playoff P with your background? You ain't cool.
All I'm trying to say is, look, when it comes to Stan Van Gundy and Jeff Van Gundy, they were both great commentators. Oh, shit. Hold on. I got it.
None of your business. Mute yourself, because I don't think I can.
Yeah, you don't know how to, huh?
No, I just don't have admin access right now. But, yeah, no, I think I said it. I think Stan was the better coach because he's always been brought in to bring a team around, to turn it around. Where Stan inherits people on his teams and succeeds. Does he take it to the promised land? No, you haven't. You never have with the teams that you've had. But that's here nor there. I just feel like the Pelicans. Who else? Who you got? Who's available? Mount.
Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson would be a good fit for the young boys. Remember him in Golden State when they was on the rise with Clay and Steph?
Mark Jackson would be a good fit. No, you are correct. I agree.
I feel like I was thinking about that earlier.
I agree. I think, but I don't think you do that. I don't.
Well, you definitely don't.
I don't think you do that. Right? I don't think you do that. I don't think you fire Stan Van Gundy, in hopes that you get a Mark Jackson. What I think is going on right now is I think that they have meaning like not classified information, but information that's not being leaked, that there's going to be another player retiring that's willing to come in as a coach. And if that doesn't work out, we know that there's Mark Jacksons available.
Well, I think Jason Kidd is interviewing with some teams. I can't remember who he might be.
Is Jason Kidd better than Mark Jackson?
No, I wouldn't.
Coaching wise,
I'd pick Mark Jackson.
So if you're gonna pick a nigga over a nigga, right? Then why? The only reason why you would pick Jason Kidd is because he's more light skinned. I don't see of any other reason why you would pick Jason Kidd over Mark Jackson.
Whatever happened, Cliff, to that black coach that was in Toronto before the coach Nick Nurse? You know what I'm talking about? I thought he was always decent. Yeah,
Byron Scott, not Byron Scott. That's Fabs.
I'm about to look it up. I know the face.
Fuck, what is his name?
I can't think of the name, but he was decent. I thought for a while, but
not like
in Toronto.
Ruben. What is his fucking name? He's dark skinned. I was about to say Ruben Patterson. Yeah. That is exactly what I was about to say. What was his name though? I know it too.
Dwayne Casey.
Dwayne Casey. That's exactly what his name is. And Donovan, to answer your question, my day's been going great. And then our next podcast is Saturday. So we do basketball on Wednesdays, all around sports on Saturdays until football season starts. Then that will be football on Tuesdays, all around sports on Saturdays, sir.
Soccer's on Sunday. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, listen, I just ain't had time to incorporate all the other ones because I definitely am a hockey fan as well. But, you know, with the NBA going on, it's hard to catch all the games. I usually only watch my Blue Jackets.
They got a new coach. They promoted their assistant coach.
The Jacks?
Yeah.
It's about time they got that motherfucker up out of there. But, where were we at? Oh, we were talking about the coaches and all that. Yeah, I think that Stan Van Gundy joint is going to bite them in the ass. unless, like I said, they got somebody coming out the league that is wanting to coach. That, you know what I mean, like a TJ McConnell. Like, I'm retiring next year, and I would love to have a coaching job.
TJ, he's young as hell. He's my age.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Like, one of those players. Like, nobody that really made noise, but
Nick Collison or some shit like that.
I don't think a Nick would work. The only reason why I say TJ is because TJ's vision is amazing.
I just said Nick Collison because his dad was a coach.
Oh.
So that doesn't always translate.
No, I didn't say that, but that's how. What's the dude's name? Bill Walton's son.
Luke.
Yeah. They all get a stab.
Well,
I'm not saying that's gonna work. I'm just saying that.
No, I'm not even responding to you. I'm responding to Mouth. Like, does he suck?
As a Lakers fan, look up his time with us.
He was with LeBron. Once again, when LeBron is on your team, you do not have a coach.
He coached to Sacramento right now, right?
Luke Walton wasn't with LeBron.
Yeah, he is the coach of Sacramento.
Cliff, Luke Walton was with Kobe. He wasn't with LeBron.
Yes, he was. After he left the Golden State Nuggets, he went to LA and coached and left.
What was their names? The what? When he left the who?
I said the Golden State Nuggets. The Golden State Warriors. Why isn't it the Golden State Nuggets, huh?
Because Denver Nuggets.
But why wouldn't it be? When the gold rush was always in California, was it in Denver as well?
Hey,
I don't know of any gold rush in Denver. It would make more sense.
You know what? You're right.
Luke
That's
Walton,
why they call the 49ers.
He didn't go to LA?
Luke Walton coached the Lakers from 2016 to 2019. LeBron didn't come to the Lakers until 2020.
Oh.
Right?
2019, 2020 was when he came to the Lakers.
Is this LeBron's second?
Yeah, he was on the team when LeBron was there.
Then he was out. Then he was on his way out. Then
right, but he was. Yeah, I know they were. I know he was on the team when LeBron was there at one point.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. But anyways, yeah, I wasn't a fan of Luke Walton as a coach. I mean, as far as the next coach goes, I know Mike D'Antoni's trying to get back into coaching conversations. I never was a fan of Mike D'Antoni.
I like Mike D'Antoni. The only reason, and just to, real quick, the only reason why I was saying that, like, do we know, is because I feel like Luke Walton hadn't really gotten a fair shake at really coaching, because he's always been on a squad that coaches themselves.
It was great, like the Warriors.
Right, like the Warriors, and then going to LA, it was like, well, there's not really much I can do when you have these alpha mentalities here. Let me fall back. Now, being in Sacramento is great for him because it's a young squad, they're talented, and they seem like they're on a come up.
Right.
It seems like their organization would be satisfied with what Luke has been doing there. So I would imagine he has at least 1 to 2 more years still there with Sacramento. And if those years turn around even further than what they already have been doing, he then solidifies himself as a mid to top tier coach in the NBA, coming from Golden State, LA to Sacramento. You feel what I'm saying? At least that's my opinion.
Right.
But I wouldn't be so quick to say he's trash just because I don't think he's had an opportunity to actually coach with the players he's had on his team.
I don't know about good old Luke. What's the score update, Aaron?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, the Atlanta joint.
Wait for the splash screen to go away.
Who just hit one?
No, the splash screen.
What's that?
There it is. 69 to 44. Philadelphia.
76.
Yeah. Splash screens like show like Burger King. Go get your Burger King chicken today. That's a splash screen. They cover everything and fuck up. Yeah.
Where's that? Where'd you get the splash screen? Where's that come from?
It's called a splash screen.
Oh, really?
Like if you turn on your Xbox or your PlayStation, whatever, when the sign come up and says PlayStation, splash screen.
Oh, okay. Well, you got that full shell education. You know, listen.
Oh shit! I don't think that shit mean.
Full Sail ain't teach you that? Where you learned that from?
Hell no, I learned that from the goddamn internet.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's just life.
Yeah. That shit didn't happen 14, 15 years ago. We had YouTube like that. We had YouTube, but
wasn't no ads on
the internet.
Listen, and you can count the videos, damn.
Well, good. He probably could.
Yeah, it probably was only 1,000 videos, 500 videos at that time.
Wasn't many floating around like that.
Now you find yourself on that motherfucker.
Right.
Look at that. Look at technology. That's scary somewhat.
Then niggas actually pull up shit about your past. I'm not finna get up on here. But I'm saying like
I don't think they can really pull up anything from our past.
No, I'm talking about the kids today. Like,
right.
You be 40 years old and be like, hey, so June 17th, 2024. Is this your age?
Right. Listen, I was watching Ridiculousness on MTV, and they had the drummer from what's the fucked Pamela Anderson, Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Was he the drummer? I think it was the.
He was the drummer.
It was Tommy Lee.
Yeah, he was the drummer. But he was talking about. He said, "Yeah, I don't understand how these kids operate with all these cameras and camera phones and shit." He said, "Back in the day, we could get away with murder." Yeah. Like we actually killed people. Right. He was just playing, but I mean that's exactly how it was. If you didn't get caught at the time, it's donezo, but you're out of there.
Yeah, I mean there are people that you run across in life if you're from a different generation who have actually done things and gotten away with it.
Right.
And they speak of it, and you're like, oh.
And there's nothing you can do.
You'd be like, damn. Okay.
Right, there's nothing that nobody can do about it. You have no photo evidence. There's no evidence to the crime.
You know what I'm saying?
And nowadays, everything,
it's on there.
That shit's crazy. But all the more technology to capture these weak ass NBA players going out with weak ass injuries. Let's move on.
He touched my eyeball.
Man, I just don't get it, man. Like, I just don't get it. What happened to the days of being unfazed?
I think they got, like I said, it got phased out. Well, I didn't say it, but I don't think it got phased out with just people trying to be like, man, I got injured from this injury. And you got your Grant Hill, you got your Derrick Rose, you got your, all the people that Anthony Hardaway that had an injury to try to play through it, ended up fucking their career up. But now it's like you get baby for, I don't know who started the shit. I want to say Kobe did, but like somebody started shit where it was like,
I feel like it died with Kobe. I feel like Kobe was the one.
Niggas jumping into each other for jump shots. That started with somebody.
Well, yeah, no, Kobe used to do that, but I mean, I don't see that. That's different. Jumping into somebody for a jump shot is different than acting like somebody hit you when they didn't, because you missed a free throw. No, because I'm gonna jump into you because you playing a little bit too tight a defense, and if the ref calls it, they call it. But me acting like I'm playing good defense and you driving and you losing the ball and acting like I hit your hand and nothing happened is completely different.
But that's how that started, though. If that makes sense.
That may make sense.
It progressed to the point of I'm going to create contact. Trump is going to act like it's contact. Trump is going to just play like it's contact, like flopping.
That may make sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I mean, but damn, we gonna put that on the dead?
Who dead?
You gonna put that on Kobe? No. Kobe started the flopping hot takesers.
First of all, these aren't off court basketball accusations. These are on court basketball accusations.
Well, I'm not. Nobody needs a disclaimer. I'm just saying, is that what we're doing? Are we doing that? Are we leading in? I'm with you if that's what we doing.
This is all respect. to starting a wave of a whole generation of kids.
I don't respect it. I don't respect it. So if we giving it to Kobe, that's a mark on his legacy. I don't respect it.
So who are we giving it to?
LeBron.
I don't think LeBron did that at all. LeBron was the first to start complaining to the refs. Because I will be honest, there was a point in time where LeBron got fouled more than anybody in the NBA.
That's true.
Even Shaq. And I could understand after a while LeBron being like, come on, call the foul, please. Now, that's what he started, but I couldn't say a flop or a acting like that. I didn't start seeing that immediately from a LeBron. I can't give him that.
Or a James Harden.
James Harden might be the culprit.
Right. You know what I mean? He's been in the league for a while now, and he's always done that.
Yeah, James Harden might be the culprit, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I think James Harden perfected.
Yeah, I think he's the culprit in general. I think now that I think about it, I think Malk is right on that one.
Dot Connector Award.
Yeah, I think you got the dot connector this episode. Because I think you might be right. I think you might be right. I think James Harden might have originated that floppy offense type style. Because James Harden did the jump into somebody too, and then it kind of grew in like a fungus or a parasite. It just grew into something bigger with me flopping on every play, which grew into something even bigger to me faking injuries in every playoffs, which grew into something bigger, which meant I never get a fucking ring, pussy. It just pisses me off, man. I'm sorry.
The beard helps them out because the beard becomes a part of your body. So they hit the beard sometimes. They hit the face. They hit the little small part, so he goes in head first. If you ever notice how James Harden play, he go like this.
He trying to get somebody rug bird.
Hey, you finna abstract.
You're trying to tell me right now that he uses his beard on his Euro step to get open because he in people's faces with his beard.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I love it. I fucking love it, and I think I'm gonna have to start looking at him a lot closer because that's funny as fuck.
What I'm trying to say is that at the same time, you're right. He did perfect it. He perfected that shit.
That's funny as fuck,
he
man.
Made art, especially with Houston. With Houston, he took that whole fake the foul shit to the next level. He was getting, 20, 25 free throw attempts a game. Then
you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. I do remember that.
Off that shit.
You are absolutely correct. I do remember that.
But
and then trained a whole bunch of teams younger than him or generations younger than them to play soft. Like, that's not respectable. Like, we're at a point now, like, imagine, think about it though, honestly, think about it. We're at a point now where generations are the same way that we were with Jordan, with Kobe, right? Like, I only got to see the last couple years of their career live as a child, and now there's nobody left that's unbothered. There's nobody left that gets in their zone and is completely unbothered. And Kawhi doesn't quite seem to. He's the closest, but he doesn't quite seem to fit that legacy.
You don't think
that's just unbothered?
You don't think KD is, for the most part, unbothered? And LeBron James for the last
the only reason
about 10 years is pretty much like there's a
KD whines too much. Even when he does great, he whines about what people say about him, and that's not a Jordan Kobe thing. Just being unbothered. That's Kawhi.
You're talking about off of the court. not on the
I'm
court.
talking about regardless, like whether what people say about you, they just were unbothered by shit. I'm still gonna drop my points.
I think Kawhi is definitely bothered. It seems to be the case.
You think Kawhi is?
Yeah, he plays different. You don't think he doesn't play different in some games? But they're talking about he's not a leader. He's not
I don't think so.
Hey guys, wow, good job. You don't think he does that shit sometimes? Kawhi be mailing that shit in, especially this year. Sometimes he said, I need to be a better leader. I need to be more vocal and shit like that. He definitely said that this year.
Well, that's different. Well, see, that's different then. Okay, and to answer Donovan's question first, he said I can't go to hockey games with my grandfather because he yells at coaches and complains about the rest. Yeah, well, me and your grandfather need to start going to more hockey games because that's what I do. And then he said, what's it mean, unbothered in the zone? When I envision someone that's unbothered, I just think fouls aren't even fouls, right? That's just a part of the game. I'm still gonna score. It's not on me to point out to the ref that someone fouled me. That shouldn't affect my game. Oh, you smacked me in my face and my nose is bleeding. That's fine. I wipe it on my jersey and I keep on playing. That's unbothered. To this generation, if their shoe comes untied, they'll kneel down in the middle of the play to tie it back up. You're bothered. You need to continue on and make sure that play stops before you do anything. You could be losing a foot and you should hop down on defense on one leg to try to assist your team. And we don't see that. I consider all of that unbothered. Just
you part of the solution.
What you mean?
Part of the problem too.
As far as what?
What your leg fell off? Get back on defense.
No, because it's not the coach's job to say that.
No, that's what Doc Rivers does.
It's the player's job. It's the player's job. Because like I say all the time, the reason why I always played injured is because it's not my job to judge anyone else's injury on my team. I'm not the doctor. But if I know that those players are injured as well and they're going out on my team on the court, it's my obligation to go out injured as well and play with my injured comrades.
Mm-hmm.
True. And the other side of that is Grant Hill.
Well, Donovan, if you're still listening, and to all the youngins, that's only if it is not an injury that could potentially affect your future or progression. If it's something that can,
he didn't know that at that time. He just played because he felt like he could play.
Well, see, now this is the thing, and it's also with the social construct of the world right now. We're in an overcorrection. Where you can't say anything wrong about anything offensive about anything, right? So we're also in an overcorrection in sports where it's like you should sit out because you need a mental health day. Fuck your mental health day. You get paid millions of dollars. You don't get afforded mental health days. Are you hurt? Then get out on that field and entertain like you were paid to do. And now it's to a point where anybody, you can sit out for a hangnail. Some of that's not acceptable. And I understand from an ownership standpoint, like, no, that's not acceptable. But as long as the commission allows, I have to accommodate. So eventually we're going to get to a point where it's right down in the middle. You feel what I'm saying? Where we move past that overcorrection era and we get to that balance era where it's like contracts to say, now there's no way I can play. I'm fucked up. But if you can get out there and play, especially if it means getting a ring, fuck that little hamstring.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is that is the same mentality of a lot of players that didn't work out for. So I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying like that's where that comes from. I'm just saying the other side. This is like a debate, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's like there is that I can go out and play today, right. But how many times can I go out and play? Do I have another 60 games of me running on this ankle trying to carry this team, or should I sit down and chill out? And when I sit down and chill out, am I a bitch for doing that?
Because there's a difference though. There's a difference.
I'm saying like a personal thing. Like some people personally feel like that. Like I could be playing, but my ankle hurts to the point where I don't want to play. But around my teammates, I don't want to show the pain. So I'm gonna go out there and extend myself.
Well, see, that was our generation. This generation, I feel like you have the opportunity to say so. Back in the day, we couldn't even really say when we were hurt. Like, it was like if you said when you were hurt, that was a problem. Like, oh, you're hurt? Like, it almost made you feel like, okay, I'm never starting again if I come out because I'm hurt. So I might as well just play. Now you can be like, no, I'm hurt. And it's almost like the coach has to handle you like a dirty laundry. Like, okay, let me be polite and place you over here. And let me know when you're clean, and I'll get you back on the field. I'm just hoping that sooner than later we get to the in-between. Where it's like, son, no, you need to sit out because you're not looking good. Or the dude says, nah, I'm good, coach. Let me go back in. But I hate seeing it's almost like when a kid falls and the mom is like, oh, and the kid starts crying, like, just stop, oh, and the kid won't cry. Like, what's the issue? Like, I don't know. But that's where we are in sports, is all I got to say. I don't know where Hollywood is. I know he's not backstage receiving an Oscar.
I be seeing Malcolm walk around that crib like he whooping ass.
I had to
be making back and forth treks. Like,
I had to take a piss.
I gotta go do something real quick, goddamn.
Listen.
Hell yeah. This is school night. I had to take a piss. Shit.
But we're about 7 minutes from 2 hours, so the Philly Hawks game, this will give them, if Philly wins, well, it looks like Philly's winning.
Right.
This will give them 3-2. And then it's Bucks and
the Nets.
I think Philly hopes the Bucks come out.
Philly hopes the Bucks come out. Yeah, of course. Like, compared to the Nets.
Yeah, I think even with the Nets fucked up as they are right now, Philly still should want to see the Bucks over the Nets. Because if the Nets bring all their players back, even on 75%, Nets smoke Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke Philly. Now, the Bucks don't smoke Philly even at 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's one like we all picked the Nets pretty much to go.
I said it.
I got my eyes on the Bucks to win the series in the toss-up. I'm gonna stand on my shit.
And you should. It looks good now.
It doesn't look unfeasible, but it looks percentage-wise, it looks like it's not gonna happen.
But didn't I tell you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you was about to.
No. I was
about to say, didn't I tell you that the Atlanta Hawks would pose a good matchup against Embiid with compelling them? I said that.
You told him that.
You did.
I told the world that. Whoever was listening, I told that. I said that's going to be a better matchup than people think it's going to be. Now, I don't know what. We didn't even do a prediction on that game.
I think we did.
Did we?
I can't.
Oh, we were all right, man. No, that's not anything I did. Oh yeah, we did it late. We all did 76ers and 7. Mock did 76ers in 6
against
the Hawks.
And what's the series right now again?
2-2. So tonight it'll be 3-2 after tonight.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be 3-2.
It's looking like it. Right. It's looking like it may end up in that.
So you may be right if they can get the second win, and I do think they get the second win. I think if the 76ers win tonight, they win again in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But it's possible that Atlanta gets the win at home. Then it goes to 7, but I still see the 76ers taking that. If Atlanta takes this series, I'm using the rest of my PTO to come down there. I swear on everything. If Atlanta wins this series, and I don't have like a family vacay with my daughter scheduled, I'm using the rest of my PTO in Atlanta. I promise you that. I'm going down there and I'm setting some shit on.
That sounds like you have to spend that. Like you ain't gonna have to spend that cheese. Like a safe bet.
Listen.
If you come down, come on down, bro. It's been years. It's been like 10 years, nigga.
It has been a while.
Yeah, I think it's been the same for me. No, almost 10 years. I was there in 2013. 2014.
Listen, we was doing music last time I was down in Atlanta, so I know it's been at least a decade.
You still come down here and do music if you want to, big dog.
I would probably have to do something just because I'm down there, but
put your ass in the booth.
But that wouldn't be that would be my main priority, like before.
All right, until you get there.
Try and turn up some crazy shit.
All right, he still got something in the tank.
You know what I'm saying? I feel what you're saying though. If that happens, it will be an event. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is lined up to.
I'm down there. If that happens, I gotta figure it out. Or I gotta start planning just in case it happens, because that's how. Listen, I'll save some PTO for my daughter so we can go do something, but I won't use it all.
Right.
I'll be responsible. You know me, I can't do that anyway. But I will say Steph Curry's been doing his thing in that, so I'll give them P's. But what I wanted to say was the question. That was what I was leading up to. I lost what it was, though.
Injury bearing.
Fuck it. We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it simple tonight. Give me y'all's finals predictions with the injuries. We shook it up, just like the title say. NBA shakeups. With the finals now, what's now y'all's I said with the finals now. With the injuries now, what's now y'all's finals predictions? Then I need who's hitting the showers for this week.
Suns and the Nets.
You sticking with the Suns and the Nets? Let me put that too. Suns, Nets.
Who's your hit the shower, man?
Yeah, who hit them?
So, well, he's on mute. I don't think Aaron knows. Aaron, you on mute.
Yeah, you on mute, cuz. Cuz, you on mute. You so fucking foolish.
No, the niggas that put Chris Paul and Devin Booker in the All-Star game, man. Originally. These niggas is making.
Well, it was picks though.
No, but they're making messes out of niggas, man.
But it was picks. Who's picking Devin Booker and Chris Paul in the All-Star game over?
Is that how you look at it, Steve?
Donovan?
Well, I look at it as like an all-star game, right? Like in who takes Devin Booker's spot every time?
Whoever.
Steph Curry. Steph Curry. Every time. It would never. There'll never be a.
Where's Steph Curry at?
That's different, bro.
That's not. Yeah, that's not. That's not out of. Listen, you compare stats then?
No, I'm not comparing stats. All I'm trying to say is look at me now, baby.
I
get that. No, I get that.
Let these boys swag out, man. We the Suns. Y'all ain't say we was gonna be here. Y'all ain't pick us to be here. Let me swag out.
You put Steph
at home. Name somebody else. Name somebody else, Malcolm. Who?
What you mean?
When you talking about over Steph, like to replace him in an All-Star?
I'm saying name somebody else over Devin Booker.
I'm just saying, is of course, like Malk said, it's gonna be Dame at point.
You did not do that, my nigga.
That's factual. Dame.
You good?
Well, Luka would usually be the 3 unless y'all is playing big.
All I'm saying is, look, I get where y'all are coming from, but you gotta give Devin Booker and Chris Paul their stain.
Oh no, you gotta give them both.
So if I'm them, this is the nigga coming out of me. Look, who did y'all choose above me? Where's he at the crib? Who else?
I mean,
at the house.
Nah, you can't do that though. You can't do that.
But you're talking about team achievements versus personal achievements.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Because Devin's doing team achievements because his team is doing well as a team.
That's great.
But like Cliff said, Devin didn't outperform Steph Curry, who's at home. He didn't.
Steph was keeping his team in it as well as Dame. Right. I don't know if it's the same for.
Steph Curry's a better scorer than Devin Booker. I said Steph
Curry's a better scorer than Devin Booker. Right. Yeah, I agree. I think Dame's a better scorer than Devin Booker.
But guess who's still in the game?
I think Dame's a better scorer than Devin Booker. Could you agree?
But you're going personal versus.
Wait. Could you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
You would agree to Dame? Now,
and they're both at home.
Now, wait. Let me ask you this.
Let
me ask you this. I would also agree that Steph and Dame are both better facilitators than Devin Booker. Would you agree?
Oh, yes.
Wait a minute. Say it one more time.
I said I would also agree that Dame and Steph are both better facilitators than Devin Booker as well. Would you agree?
Okay. Yeah, I'd agree.
So that both trumps just in 2 positions in an all-star meet. Because it's different when the league votes on 10 players and Paul and Booker are on it. But when it comes down to me as the guy that's picking for a winning team, I'm picking Dame over Paul, and I'm picking Steph over Booker 10 times out of 10.
Nothing arguing.
Not even 9.
And that's great.
That's great. Why. So really, you're giving LeBron and Giannis, or no, it was KD and Giannis, hit the showers.
Mm-hmm.
For not picking Booker and Paul.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I
just want y'all to agree with that. Look, man, like sometimes.
But I know what you're coming from. I get it.
Right. Yeah, I'm here.
I get it.
You're not here.
I get it. And coming from your predictions, I get it, and I get why you would say that. I was just saying, right, and you deserve to be. I'll give you that. You deserve to.
So, my finals, I was going to say real quick, was I'll still go with Nets. West, man, it's hard. Because what we got, obviously, the Clippers, or the Suns, or the Jazz.
Yeah, Clippers, Jazz, Suns. So, Jazz got to beat the Clippers.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna jot this down this week. I think if Kawhi is out and CP3 is out for a little bit,
the Jazz take.
I think the Jazz and the Nets might be in the new finals. Donovan Mitchell been going off doing his thing too.
He say Jazz Nets.
I'm saying as if and put in parentheses per current injuries, because that way, if I'm wrong, we'll reference back that.
No, nigga, this is the final decision.
Right.
No, this ain't the final decision.
Nah, this probably
never
the
can be the final decision because things change. You know what I'm saying?
I have the Bucks beating the Nets in the 7th series, but I have the Nets making the final.
Right. I didn't even think about that.
Right,
you a walking contradiction.
Right, damn, Aaron.
I'm not the dot connector today, nigga. I'm the contradiction.
Right. Nah, you the dot connector. Don't down yourself, baby. You got it. I think I might go. Something in me is telling me to go LA Nets.
Clippers and Nets? Interesting.
Something's telling me to go there. I'm going there. I'm going LA Nets. Wait, who was your hit the showers?
Oh, I didn't give one yet. My hit the showers. I'm going to agree with you, Donovan, and go with James Harden for his lackluster performance last night.
I'm going to have to start calling you Malcolm hit the shower Steeler King.
Hey, because I couldn't agree more. I'm thinking about, I'd have to either, as far as...
Yeah, mine is James Harden as well. I didn't mean to call you a pussy, although you're playing pussy as fuck. You're playing pussy. If you wake up and you say, I'm ready to play, don't then use that injury as a crutch as to why you hit 1 for 10 from the field. Hit the showers, James Harden. All the best. I wish you the best. Come back next game. Do your thing. Right? Nah, not tonight. They don't play tonight, do they?
Ooh,
I thought somebody said that they played tonight.
Nah, the Nets and the they play tomorrow, I believe. Okay. Nets and the
Bucks.
You're right.
They just played last night.
They play tomorrow.
Night. Okay.
Yeah, I wish him the best. I would like to see prediction, but I think Clippers is something's telling me to go with the Clippers. I don't know what them Vegas odds is, but I'd look at them.
Let me know. I'll be in Indiana this weekend. I can bet for you.
Well, I would definitely let you know because there's fights coming up this weekend that we will be talking about on Hit the Showers this Saturday. You said what?
You finna hit Vegas, Malcolm?
He ain't gonna be in Vegas. He go to Indy.
You finna go to Vegas? I thought I heard him say.
Nah, we can't. I can't bet. I can't bet in Ohio. There's no online betting in Ohio, so we run it through Indy.
It's in Indiana, it's legal, so I go there to see my in-laws every other weekend. So we do bets there if you want to bet on something. When I go there on my phone, like FanDuel.
You know,
I lose every damn time. But
that's because you don't consult with the Hit the Shower squad like you do in your stock group.
Hey, you ain't
right. Oh shit! Does anybody got anything?
It's all money.
Right, you right. Does anybody got anything to say to take us out?
Man,
nothing.
NBA, do better. Do better.
Yeah.
I can't say that. I feel good right now, nigga. I want to see somebody get crowned champion.
I do like the. I like the pot getting shaken up. Yeah. Ice Cube style. Shake them up, shake them up, shake them up, shake them.
The Nets, the Jazz, perhaps, the Clippers, maybe the 76ers.
So, hey, I think somebody's going to win this number maybe one, right? Didn't they say that? The last thing
on the well, yeah, no, yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Whoever wins has never won an NBA championship.
Right, that's the truth. You are correct. On either side.
The 76ers won a championship. They definitely did.
Oh, right. The Sixers
have. Yeah, the Sixers have.
But the other three, I think Milwaukee, obviously, right? Phoenix.
Milwaukee and the Nets. Well, Brooklyn has it. No, the Nets have it.
So everybody but, so you're saying everybody but the
76ers.
Have not won it, so odds are in favor.
The Bucks have won one. The Bucks won a championship in the 70s.
Did they?
That don't count. That wasn't. They weren't part of the NBA. I thought. Oh, did they?
Yes.
I gotta look that up.
Look it up.
Sure. Okay, then. Well, let me go with the historian.
We all send it in. It was before it was Kareem. That's before he moved to LA and started tapping.
Historian in the building.
I gotta verify. Aaron, you are right. Yes, they won in 1971. Well,
listen, he the dot connector and the historian. We'll take it out. We love all the shower heads out there. As always, be good or be good at it, motherfuckers.